Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and today we're going to be doing a Game Week 20 team selection videos and having a little look at my Game Week scores from Game Week 19, the double Game Week, how did I get on there and what are my feelings going forward, what kind of transfers am I planning on making, and some early thoughts on captains as well. Of course, we are going to do a captains video this week as well, just because we got a little bit more time this game week to make videos, so all good in the hood there. But yeah, looking forward to showing you kind of my thoughts today on what I'm doing with my team going forward. Yeah, if you do enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Really helpful. And of course, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing. I know a lot of you guys watching will not be subscribed, and I'm getting closer and closer to my 50k goal, 50,000 subscribers by the end of January. We've only got a few days of January left though, so I can really do with your help right now, guys. So please do make sure you subscribe indeed. But before we go into the video, I do want to say that this video is sponsored once again by OneFootball. For those of you who don't know what OneFootball is, it's a great app / website for all things football. Now, I personally like to use the OneFootball app on my phone when I want to check out scores of games. Perhaps I haven't caught the games, I want to check out the scores. Perhaps I'm watching one game and actually there's another game going on at the same time. I want to check the scores out, and then I want to check out the stats in that game. Really easy to do that with OneFootball. And then of course it's also a great source of football news and transfer gossip as well, which is great around this time. You know, I've seen news about Arsenal potentially signing Martin Odegaard, which is pretty cool for me as an Arsenal fan. But yeah, you can check all kind of news and stuff like that. So if you like your football, do check out OneFootball. The link is in the top of my description and it is of course completely free. So here we are, here we have my score for this game week. 100 points, 96 if you count the -4 as well, but I don't know, I'm going to count myself inside of that 100 club. It's a really good score for someone who didn't use any chips. Not a really good score maybe, but a decent score. Perhaps I've been a little bit saved by transferring in John Stones, and maybe the transfer in of my captain KDB as well kind of helped as well. Not really much else going elsewhere on this team, and it's down to this fact, and I told you about this before, that I went in heavily on Leeds and Southampton players, which then I had to kind of half fix after, because I thought that the Southampton and Leeds were going to have a double game week. That obviously got cancelled. Really kind of frustrating, but you know, all things considered, considering that went horribly wrong, I had 4 Southampton and Leeds players ready for the double. I quickly had to scrounge around trying to build something, had to take a -4. You know, the players that I picked, okay, not too bad. John Stones was obviously a fantastic transfer in, one that I'm really happy with. KDB was my other transfer in for this Game Week 19 as well. That kind of worked. I mean, I say it kind of worked. The unfortunate thing is that in the second game, he didn't even make it to 60 minutes, which means I lost a point for him playing 60 minutes and an extra point for the clean sheet. That would have been 4 points more, which I could have really done with, to be honest. That would have got me firmly in the 100 club, even including the -4. So didn't 100% work out for me. Obviously, now we've got a KDB injury dilemma as well. It's really frustrating. Some things seem to have gone horribly wrong. Like, for example, the Leeds and Southampton players that I brought in for this double game week didn't work out. Now I've got to figure out how I'm going to sort that out. And then, of course, it also seems like every transfer I make in, well, not every transfer, obviously, I can feel pretty lucky with John Stones, that's for sure. I can feel lucky there. But with KDB, it's just another player that I've transferred in, and then the very week I transfer them in, they get injured. It's happened so many times to me before. You know, Ziyech, Zaha, Salah. Who else have I transferred in that's got injured straight away? There's been Che Adams. He got a head injury the game week I transferred him in. It seems to happen a lot to me. Every time I transfer a player in, they get injured. But it's not every time, because John Stones worked out perfectly. So, all in all, things are not going perfectly for right now. Lots of players, I'm getting injuries, and I feel like I'm playing catch up a lot of the time. But overall, a score of 100 points. It's a decent green arrow, but it's not quite enough. I need a huge score to get back into the mix. Every week, my game week score is sort of above average for the top 10k. Something like, I think it's something like over 50%. I think it's 52%, 53% of players in the top 10k ranked use a chip in Game Week 19, and I didn't, and I still managed to get an above average score for a top 10k player. So in that sense, pretty good, but we need more, don't we? So we are going to be thinking about chip strategies going forward. I've spoken about it a little bit in streams and stuff already. But yeah, let's go on to my Game Week 20 team and how I'm going to be setting up. And yeah, hopefully we can start and try and think about how we can move this team forward and just make the most of the situation that I've unfortunately found myself in. So no messing about today. Let's just get in straight with the goalkeeper. Martinez up against Burnley away. Super desirable keeper. Everyone seems to either have him or want him. Aston Villa have been fantastic defensively. One of the best defensive teams in the league right now. Not quite on Man City's level, but still very much up there. And then we've got this really nice fixture against Burnley, which I really quite like, to be fair. I really like it. They're not a team that scores a lot of goals. I know they have scored the occasional goals, notably most recently in the 1-0 victory against Liverpool, but you know, Liverpool are in such a bad situation right now. Aston Villa, I feel like, are in a pretty good situation right now. They're just coming off a nice clean sheet against Newcastle the game before that. They'd just come back from like a 2-week COVID break, maybe 3 weeks without playing any actual proper football. And they only lost by a couple of goals. I feel like they were kind of unlucky to even have conceded the goals that they did, to be perfectly honest. So I do think Aston Villa defensively in a really good spot, and Martinez is absolutely fine. Chilwell in defence there, home against Wolves. I would say that's a relatively good fixture there. I think it's pretty good. It's not amazing, and Chelsea have been kind of dropping off a little bit defensively recently. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot. If I didn't have Chilwell right now, I wouldn't be bringing him in, but I don't think he's a terrible player to hold on to. Chelsea have got some really nice fixtures coming up, particularly for the defensive point of view, so I don't mind that one bit. And then we move on to our Man City defenders, starting off with Cancelo. West Brom away, really, really nice fixtures. It's probably a better fixture for an attacker than a defender, which is why I'm so frustrated that KDB got injured, because I was really targeting this game as well when I brought in KDB into my team. Frustrating, but it's fine. We're going to double up with John Stones here as well, the hero of last game week, that's for sure. But yeah, really nice double up there with the Man City defenders. I think that's kind of the direction most of us should probably be thinking about going right now, and then maybe one Man City attack as well for the triple up, because Man City are kind of just looking like the best team right now. I've spoken to no end about how good they are defensively. They have the lowest expected goals conceded by a long shot. They are conceding the least amount of shots by a long shot. No one's getting close to them, so they are the best defenders, and when you can spend as little as this, that's okay. Cancelo and Stones both rested for the FA Cup game that Man City played, so you would expect them to come straight back into this team for the Premier League game. All good in the hood. And we're going to finish off with Sofal, a bit of a legend of this channel, I suppose. He's up to 7.3% owned, which is pretty crazy considering when we first brought him in, he was only like 0.9% owned. He's not left the team since then. He's been a little bit of a club icon for FPL, mate. I'm sure a lot of you guys would have got him in fairly early like me. Seems like everyone's jumping in on him, so maybe he's not such a differential now. But certainly happy to go with him forward. Crystal Palace away, I feel like that's a good fixture for so far and for West Ham in general. I do think they can easily keep a clean sheet there as well. So all in all, looking at the back five, you can imagine a situation where you can go 5 for 5 clean sheets. If you can get 4 out of 5 clean sheets there, you're really happy with that as well. And then you've got the potential attacking returns of players like Chilwell, Cancelo, maybe even Sofal. Stones as well. He has got that aerial threat with his headers, as he's proven last game week. West Brom actually do concede a few chances through headers, so I think that's the second or third worst in the whole league when it comes to receiving chances, conceding chances, I guess, through headers. So maybe John Stones does it again. Who knows? Not banking on it, but there's definitely points in this defence, that's for sure. So let's move on to midfield now. Start off with Salah. Real disappointment for 5 blanks in a row now. He is a player that if I was wildcarding right now, and I'm not wildcarding, but if I was going to, I don't think Salah would make the cut. Honestly, he is going to come good again eventually, but how patient do you be with the player who is literally the most expensive player in FPL? How much patience do you have? 5 game weeks in a row blanking. Rested last game week in the second fixture, and then come off the bench. I don't know. I'm not fully convinced by this one, but there's bigger fish to fry, and the bigger fish to fry is KDB, who is injured. Again, this is kind of what I'm talking about, and what I've been talking about pretty much. I mean, for the past, I don't know, like 10 game weeks, it seems like every time I transfer a player in, they get injured, and I spend so much time fixing injured players than I do, correcting things in my squad that I actually want to change. Salah is a player I actually do want to change, Chilwell, arguably, I could think about changing him as well. There's a couple other players as well, like all the Southampton and Leeds players I still have in my team. I really probably want to be moving them on, but I can't because KDB has got injured, and that's where I've got to focus my attention. So it's one step forward, one step back. It's not quite two steps forward, one step forward, two steps back, because I'm still rising in the ranks, just not as quickly as I would hope. And it kind of feels like I can only make progress in my team if I take a -4 pretty much every week, every other week. It really, really is frustrating, but whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. We're going to replace KDB with another player, and we're going to move on. But we're going to go on to Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, this really nice fixture against Sheffield United. Bruno's form has kind of dipped a little bit recently, though. He's not been, statistically he's looking good, but he's not finishing off his chances as well. He's not really looked as good. And usually, even when he doesn't look good, he still manages to scrape FPL points. Maybe this is because of a lack of penalties. I don't want to call Fernandes a penalty merchant because I don't believe he is that. But there hasn't been any penalties going Manchester United's way for a few weeks now. So maybe he's kind of suffering on that. There's not been as many penalties as we perhaps hope. But Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United missing John Egan in the centre of their defence as well. So that's going to be a big loss for them, which could be a good opportunity for your Manchester United players. So Fernandes definitely a player that I still very much want to have in my team. And then moving on to Son. Son is up against Liverpool, which is a tough game, I think, because even though Liverpool haven't been scoring goals, they've not really been conceding many goals either, have they? I know they conceded against Burnley. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, to be honest. I don't know if Spurs go out there and beat Liverpool, really punish them for what, unfortunately, they have been recently. Maybe that's happening. Son is looking really good statistically, though. His underlying stats are fantastic, and usually when his underlying stats are good, his actual scores are even better. So it's only a matter of time before he starts being his usual clinical self. So, again, happy to have Son. But then we move on to Rafinha, one of the players who, quite frankly, I wish I had never brought into my team. He's already lost value. It's all gone really, really terribly wrong. The double game week was for Leeds and Southampton was cancelled. Then we thought, okay, maybe Leeds and Southampton can play again in game week 23. But that would only happen if Arsenal beat Southampton in the FA Cup. Now that has happened. That means Leeds and Southampton can't play in game week 23. They're probably not going to play until right at the end of the season now for that missing fixture, the rescheduled fixture. So all of these extra Leeds and Southampton players that you might have in your team, that I have in my team, they're pretty much useless now. You probably want to start thinking about getting rid of them. Southampton don't have particularly good fixtures. Yes, Leeds have a really nice fixture this game week against Newcastle. I do think this is pretty much the best fixture you can get, other than maybe West Brom. Maybe West Brom's a slightly better fixture. This is a good fixture, which is why for this game week only, I'm like, okay, let's just keep Rafinha. But after that, it's kind of like there are so many players I'd rather have, and Grealish was the player that I replaced with Rafinha, so it's tough, but Newcastle away, it's a good fixture. Let's see how we can get on there, and most importantly, how we're going to get on with Bamford, my final guy up top. I think this is going to be a good score for him. I actually am pretty confident about this one, so I am happy about that one at least. But the problem is Bamford is so heavily owned. Everyone has Bamford in their team. Even if he scores well, like, we've all got the same score, so I'm not going to see a rank rise or anything like that. But I would recommend that if you don't have him, you probably should have him for this game week. Maybe going forward, maybe not so much. I don't think he's essential, but for this game week, he's going to be one of the biggest scoring players, I think. So pretty happy with that. So let's move on to my bench quickly. Forster, never going to play. Adams, wish I never bought him. I transferred him more pay out for Adams. And then Adams, head injury, loss of form, double game week cancelled. Any chance of a double game week in game week 23 now cancelled. Another disaster that's kind of completely out of my hands, but we will replace him soon. But this game week isn't the game week. I'm going to replace KDB. That's just obviously what's going to happen. And then Brewster, the 1 point bandit, and then Ferguson, the ever-present, ever-injured player there as well, who's not going to get me any points. So, yeah, we do need to build towards a bench boost, but we got some work to do, as you can very much tell with the starting at 11 first. So 0.7 in the bank. Am I upgrading? Am I downgrading? Am I making a sideways move? Am I downgrading a little bit, or am I downgrading a lot? Well, financially, let me tell you, cash-wise, we're downgrading a lot. So this is my transfer, guys. KDB out and Gundogan in. There you go. There you have it. Super downgrade in terms of price, which is going to leave me with 7 million in the bank. A lot of people try and spend money even though they don't have to. Like, a lot of people would say, okay, you could go for Rashford, you could go for Sterling. Do I really need to spend all that money? Is Gundogan really going to score that much less than these players? I don't. I think Gundogan, looking at his stats, looking at his actual performances, he's in the form of his life. He's on penalties probably now, permanently. He just seems like he is just as valuable as a Rashford or a Sterling, and he is so much cheaper, and that's going to allow me to make really nice moves in future game weeks. So, for example, 7 million in the bank now, that's an easy swap. I could do Brewster to Kane immediately. If I didn't want to do that, I could do something like, and this is a genuine thought, I could take a -4 next game week, and I could do Rafinha and Adams to Kane and Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes is going to be playing against Leeds that game week. That would be nice. Kane is going to be playing against Brighton. So that would be really good. And that's all facilitated by freeing up the money, by getting rid of KDB, holding the 7 million in the bank just for one game week only, and not panicking about the fact that there's loads of money in the bank. It doesn't matter. It's for one game week, and it's going to allow me to make good moves in the future. Now, there is an argument to say, okay, maybe I should just take the -4 this game week instead and do Adams to Kane this game week. I could do that, but then it's Kane against Liverpool. Who am I banking on him doing better than? I could maybe sacrifice Rafinha, but that's a really nice fixture against Newcastle, and it's a differential. Maybe I drop Chilwell against Wolves because Chelsea have been not doing so well defensively, but he's too expensive to bench Chilwell, arguably. Maybe I take out Soifal, but I do reckon he's going to get a clean sheet as well. So it really does leave me in a tough situation. Maybe I bench Salah. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. And I definitely do want the Man City attacker in Gundogan. So that's definitely something I want to do. West Brom, a really good fixture for attacking players. So, and Gundogan posting some of the best attacking stats in that Man City team. And I don't think he's going to be rotated. Again, he's just had a nice rest over the FA Cup weekend. I think he's going to come straight back in, play, hopefully play in similar positions where he's playing actually in and around the box, taking plenty of shots in the box, taking penalties as well. It's going to be really nice. His XG, even excluding penalties, is better than KDB's. And that is what we really, really like. And I've had my eye on Gundogan for a fair few weeks now. So that's looking good. So overall, I think I stick with this. The only other thing I could possibly do is do Adams to Kane at this game week. But then it just leaves me with a nightmare of who gets dropped. Who drops out of my starting 11? And I haven't, unless I can think of a good reason to drop one of these players, then Kane against Liverpool is not going to be the absolute height of my priorities. But maybe I change my mind close to the deadline. This is exactly how I want to set up right now. We'll do captains as well. Fernandes is going to be the captain, Bamford the vice captain. Although, I do want to be honest with you guys, I am seriously considering captaining Bamford instead of Fernandes, just to have a little bit of a differential captain there, because I've got to do something. And I was thinking a little bit, since making this is my first full season on YouTube, so I was sort of thinking, am I making too many safe decisions just because I'm on YouTube and I've got an audience? Would I actually be benefiting a little bit by making some bigger risks, like captaining someone like Bamford? Even though, I probably wouldn't recommend it to you guys because I feel like it's risky. But playing it safe every game week is not going to get you any major gains in the leaderboard. And I want to get some major gains. I need to get some major gains. All I need is an extra 50 points on my score. And then I will, even at that level, I will just gradually raise up. Because the people at my level versus the people in the top 10k, they're getting similar amounts of scores. The difference is that the people in the top 10k did well in early game weeks. I didn't do it well in early game weeks, so I've got to get myself back into that pack, and then I can just carry on the way I'm doing it even right now, and I would stay in the top 10k. I would rise up through the top 10k. That's just an example, obviously, but my scores are good. It's just that I had a very poor start, which means I'm playing catch-up a lot here. And when you're playing catch-up, you've got to make some risks. So Bamford could very easily end up being the captain. The -4 and putting in Kane, the risk there, that could, again, easily be something I do. Super risky, super kind of stupid. I don't want to recommend it to you guys, so that's the only thing, because I don't want to look foolish in your teams. I mean, I can take risks with my own team, but I don't want to take risks for your team. I don't think that's a fair thing for me to do. So we'll see. I think I am going to captain. I really want to captain Bamford. I'm really, really tempted to. But for now, for the sake of being sensible, we'll leave the captain's armband on Fernandes. Sheffield United's defence are a little bit better than you think they are, but Bruno not in the right form as well. It's kind of contributing to that. But John Egan is not going to be playing. He's banned for that game. So yeah, it's a consideration. Bruno maybe, you know, playing in the FA Cup as well. Maybe he gets rested. There's different reasons why I think Bamford could be a really nice differential captain, but we can talk about that properly tomorrow in tomorrow's captains video. So for now, this is how I'm lining up. This is my general thoughts going forward, and this is what I'm hoping will get a good score. Overall, I think it's a really nice lineup. I think it's a really, really nice lineup for the game week. You know, I'm sure you guys probably at least agree a little bit that I'm set up quite nicely, but still need to get the edge. Still need to get the edge somehow, and that's kind of what I'm trying to think about at the moment. Yeah, but yeah, let's see how we get on with this one, guys. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you have any recommendations for what I do with my team, maybe you've got some particular thoughts of what I should be doing, please do let me know. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really good FPL managers that could maybe even advise me, but for the most part, I just need to think about how I'm going to be a bit differential going forward and try and catch up and make some bolder and riskier moves. And that's kind of what the theme is going to be, I think, in the next few game weeks up until that double game week 26, which is I'm really looking forward to be fair, because that's going to be my bench boost week. So that should be one big boost I need, but we need to get a few boosts between now and then to really crack on this season and really get back to the places that I really want to be fair. But yes, guys, please do leave a like if you did enjoy this video today. Please do subscribe if you are new around here. We can get to 50k. We can get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of January, can't we? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Can only do it with your help, though, guys. So thank you for watching. Check out OneFootball if you fancy it, if you like football and you like that kind of stuff. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, join my mini league, or support me on Patreon, please do check out the links in the description as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on tomorrow's video. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.